So welcome everyone. We're going to begin today's lesson in standing. So at first, just come to stand on your 2 feet and sense how your right leg and your left leg make contact with the floor today. And notice if you're carrying a little more of yourself over one side. Is it the right foot or the left foot today? And now noticing the pressure and how it changes on your feet, I'm going to invite you to reach up with one arm. How you do it is up to you, but feel when you reach up with that arm, what happens to the weight on your 2 feet? Does it shift to the side you're reaching on? Does it shift to the other side? Or hell no, it ain't shifting anywhere. And do it again. Do it 3 times with each arm and find out. Don't make it aerobics. It's not exercise. It's to discover something. Imagine there's a towel or a plate and you're trying to get it. What do you do with the rest of you apart from hold your breath? And now try the other arm. Which side makes better connection to the foot? This arm or the first arm? Which foot? It's up to you. But I see some people when they reach with their right arm, the weight goes to the right foot. When they reach with their left arm, it goes to the left foot. But some people, no matter which foot you're on, no matter which arm you're using to reach, it seems to still be on the one leg. What's the pattern for you? And on which side do you reach more comfortably, more successfully? On which side would you get that plate that's just a little bit further away? And now, this is just our check-in. We're going to repeat much of this in a different orientation. So please now come and lie on your back. And at first, see if you can lie on your back without your glasses on. With Doris, you have a question? You have to unmute if you have a question. Okay. So as you're resting on your back, allow yourself to settle into the floor. Oh, you're just still muted, I'm afraid. I can't.
Can our arms lay on a pillow?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So as you're resting on your back, just sense the contact of your right shoulder compared to your left shoulder. And then observe the contact of the back of your skull. Can you tell which ear is closer to which shoulder? Is your right ear closer to your right shoulder or your left ear closer to your left shoulder? Maybe one ear is closer to the floor than the other. Go ahead and roll your head gently, letting your eyes move with your head. If you wish, or if you wish your eyes to just be fixed, you could be doing that too and still roll your head. But do you notice if one side is easier, if one side feels more comfortable? And as you return, let your head come to rest and notice now the pressure of your ribs at the back touching the floor. You noticed your shoulders, now sense below your shoulders into the area of your ribs. And notice if the right side of your rib basket is more on the floor, pressing backward, or is it the left side of your rib basket that presses backward more? And where does your back lift away from the floor? Is there more space on the right or more space on the left? And now sense the weight of your pelvis, the right buttock, the left buttock touching the floor. Do you feel a bias? Do you feel more pressure on one side? On the side where you feel more pressure, travel down the back of that leg. Notice the thigh touching or not touching. and the back of the knee, which is for most of us off the floor, and then the calf and your heel and where your toes are pointing. And then switch to the other leg and observe, where do the toes of this leg point? Is it closer to the floor, this foot? The little toe, the outside edge of the foot, is it closer or further from the floor? And then traveling up the back of the leg, sensing the calf, the space below your knee, the area behind your thigh, and then finally the buttock and the pressure that you feel a little lighter maybe on that side. So now tip your pelvis either right or left. If you had a little marble resting on your pelvis, would you tip it easier to the right or to the left? Just a little. How much of you do you demand gets involved in just the rolling of your pelvis? When I say just, that makes it sound like it should be just your pelvis, but actually your pelvis is like the hub of a wheel. A lot of things are going to move when the pelvis moves. What do you notice? And I see some people pushing to lift the side of their pelvis. No, don't push your heel into the ground. Do not do that. Okay, forget your pelvis. Leave your pelvis. Roll your head. Go back to rolling your head. Stop with your head to one side, either right or left, and now tip your pelvis either in the same direction or the opposite direction. Just tip it a little bit and then let it go. Try both directions and see, why did you choose the direction you chose first? Maybe there's something in that. Maybe there's something to be gleaned. Now roll your head to the other side. And which side do you want to tip now? And did you choose the easier direction? Or do you feel that the easier direction was the second direction you're moving in? And of course, let it go now. I'll tell you, the more you play with those sorts of things, rolling your head, rolling your pelvis, after a while, your brain starts to seek the easier path, the more energy efficient path, and in time, the difference would diminish. But right now, at the beginning of the lesson, you really feel how it is that you arrived today. So now lift one leg just an inch. Feel the weight of that leg and put it down. It's funny, you lift your leg and then you hold it in the air. Why hold it in the air? That's a waste of effort. Just lift it to feel the weight and put it down. If you were in a class where you were working out your hip flexor and you had to keep your leg lifted in the air because that's what they do, well, then that's what they do. It's not what we do. I just want you to feel the weight. That's it. Which leg is more free? Which leg is more loose? Which leg is lighter? And this too, you Feldenkrais students, if you did this for half an hour, in half an hour, the difference would diminish because your brain would choose the better pattern. What you're feeling now is just your bias. And this is what you live in, how you chop vegetables, how you drive your car, how you eat, how we all have bias. But the great thing is, by the end of the lesson, that bias will be less obvious. So now, please bend your knees and stand your feet. And the first movement is just to test something, just to see if this is even possible on your horizon. Bring your two hands together in the middle of your abdomen. Slide your fingertips. You're going to bring your hands overhead like we did last week. So slide them up the middle and then take them over your face and then open your arms and see if you can let your arms lay on the floor. Where do you have to put your arms so that your arms are on the floor? You rest your arms on the floor. Now, if your elbows are in the air, that is not your arms on the floor. So open your arms out to the side to find out, where could I put them? And if you cannot put them overhead at all, it's just information I need to know. So some people are struggling. Their wrists are off the ground a lot. Their elbows are off the floor. Please keep your arms at a place where you can tolerate them, and then start moving your pelvis left and right, wherever you can tolerate your arms to be. Your legs are standing, by the way, right now. So your legs are standing and you're rocking. You want to like roll your pelvis left and right. And instead of pushing on your feet, you want to actually think of your pelvis coming down toward your heels. Roll your pelvis right and left. How do you do that? How does your pelvis go to the left? You press on your right foot a little bit. How does your pelvis go to the right? You press on your left foot a little bit. But here now, don't press on your feet. Leave your knees in the middle and just walk your butt downward toward your heels. How are you going to do that? Yeah, you can do it. That's it. Okay, now rest. Notice, are your arms suffering? If your arms are suffering, I don't want that. So please adjust where your arms are. There's plenty of time to make it an improvement in a moment. Now lengthen your legs and rest with your arms out to the side. And feel maybe lengthening your legs, maybe that changed where your arms can be. Just check it out. Just find out. Are your arms easier or not? Just don't push anything. All right. I think we will do a variation just to see if it changes the position of your arms. So bend your knees and stand your feet again. And now give yourself a hug. Cross your arms over your chest. You all know that movement. That's it. Beautiful. And now with your arms crossed over your chest, if you pull with one hand, it lifts the opposite shoulder. So do that. Rock from side to side. But attempt to not push too much into your feet because that will push you up your mat. Just rock your chest right and left. Allow your head to follow your movement, follow your chest. So if you keep your head in the middle, you're looking at something. Make sure your jaw is easy and rock and pull yourself downward a little. Just feel your back rolling across the floor. Okay, pause, switch over the crossing of your arms. The elbow that's on top goes underneath. That's it. Now, please do this movement with your head fixed. So keep your head looking at one point on the ceiling. And now rock, don't make it as big. It won't be as big. Keep it small and quick. And then when you're ready, you let your head, when you are ready, you let your head join in and roll with your elbows. Imagine you're looking at your elbows. That will help your head to begin to turn, which is a different movement, more generous. Notice what you're doing with your knees. Some of you are flopping your knees right and left. What if you don't do that? Pause a moment, cross your arms again the other way. Separate your feet so that they're at least the width of your pelvis, at least the width of your pelvis. Separate your jaw so that your teeth are not pressing. Close your eyes lightly, lightly. Rest the tongue wherever you can. Roof of your mouth, floor of your mouth, it doesn't matter. Just let it rest. Notice your breath. And now, very gently, start to roll your chest again. Slowly. Super slow. And notice when you're in the middle, does it take effort to roll over the shoulder when you turn your head? Do not keep your head fixed. Soft mouth, soft eyes, soft jaw. How are your feet contributing? Or are they not? Switch your arms again when you're ready. Keep it soft like that. Soft and light. What do you do with your head? Let your head follow. Because unconsciously, many of you are not letting your head follow. So what if your eyes look? So stop in the middle and look with your eyes to one side let that lead the turning of your head, and then let that lead the turning of your shoulders. So you're doing it from your eyes to your head to your neck and shoulders. Eyes return, eyes take you to the other side, head, shoulders. That's it. Just feel the connection. It doesn't have to be quick. It just has to feel connected. Excellent. Now, please. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, please rest. Let it all go and rest. And just sense if there's been a change in the way your shoulders meet the floor, the length of your neck, the contact of your back. Where do you notice the greatest shift in your support system through your back to the floor? And now, please slowly, whichever leg feels longest, leave that leg on the ground and stand the other leg. That's it. Now, very gently and slowly, if your left leg is long, bring your left arm up over shoulder height. If your right leg is long, bring your right arm up over shoulder height. Somewhere just a little above shoulder, it's on the floor. Your arm is on the floor, the back of your hand is on the floor. It's above shoulder height. If you don't remember how to do that, bring your arm up the middle. Bring it up. Many of you just did a snow angel. Bring your arm up through the middle, go over the top of your head, and then open your arm to the side. That's it. Now pause. Good. Stay there. Now, very gently, very slowly, begin to lengthen your long leg downward, your heel, gently. It's your heel reaches down and you feel that reach up into your skeleton. How far up do you feel it? You reach and then you let go. If you don't return from the reach, you won't have anywhere to go. So you must let yourself recuperate. So you reach through the heel and then you let yourself rest. You let it come back to you, in other words. And keep doing it. Maybe when you've done it 5 times, I want you to pay attention to your arm that's above shoulder height. Did anything happen from your... Okay, so I'm seeing some interesting ways of reaching. I'm going to give you more guidance. Clearly, we need a little more guidance. So do not point your toes. Please only reach through your heel. That's true reaching. The other is not that it's not reaching, but it's not the same. It won't... Well, try it. Reach your toes down and feel how well that connects your back to your back, I should say. And then reach with your heel down as if you're pushing something away with your heel. And feel the difference. All right. Bring your arm back overhead and bring it down and then rest. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Just bring your arm down. If you want to protect your shoulder, it's good to bring it over the top, down the middle. But lengthen both legs or bend both legs, whichever way you want to rest. So just sense that leg that's been reaching. Can you feel the difference between that leg and the other? It's interesting how a few movements done with awareness can bring great clarity, and a few movements done without awareness can bring great pain. So I don't want you to be in pain. I want you to have clarity. So please, if I give you an instruction that doesn't feel right to you, do not do it. Ask me or find another way or imagine it. If it doesn't even seem like you could imagine it, then we'll work another way to help you with that. So now one more time, same idea, please, but this time without the other leg up, without the other leg standing. Just leave the other leg down. Bring the arm up overhead, the arm that you're working with and the leg. It's going to be the same thing, except that now you have both legs long. But notice if you can begin to reach. As you reach the heel down, can you reach through the arm and the hand? Reach the arm up as the heel goes down. See if you can do that. And as you do it, notice the timing. When your heel goes down and your arm goes up, what timing do you have between those two limbs? And please, it's not about going far. It's just timing. Can my heel and my hand reach at the same moment? And what are you doing with your head as you do that? As your whole side gets long and then retracts, you can't keep reaching. Remember, like a rubber band, you reach and then you let it withdraw. You let yourself retract before you reach a second time. Now, please notice what you're doing with your head. And I see some people are moving their head. Excellent. And there's different ideas. Some people are moving their head in the direction of the arm and leg that's reaching, and some are moving their head in the opposite direction. So I'm going to invite you to move your head in the opposite direction. So if it's your left leg and left arm that's reaching, you turn your head to the right as you reach to the left side. That's it. And if it's your right arm and leg that's reaching, you turn your head to the left. And now, no matter what you're reaching, please stop reaching and rest however you wish. You can rest on your side, you can rest on your back, you can rest however you like, knees up, knees down, whatever you need. When you reach like that, you're reaching throughout your whole self. Your muscles are the engines of movement, but every other tissue, your fascia, your ligaments, your tendons, everything is being elongated. So you can't really just think about muscles. And in this lesson, I think you will find those relationships of your skeleton to the whole myofascial system. So please now return, and we're going to explore all of this on the other side. So to start with, the leg that was long, bend that leg and stand it up. Bring the hand of the side you're going to work with, bring it over your belly and up the middle, and then bring it out over the top, through the top, out to the side, to wherever you get to. Just notice where you get to. Don't force anything. So with that leg that's standing, you just leave it standing. It doesn't have to do anything. But the leg that's long, you want to push through the heel to lengthen that leg. How do you reach through the heel of that leg? Firstly, do it gently. Taste the movement before you invest fully. And notice what happens when you reach down through your heel. What happens in your arm? What happens in your back? What happens in your waist and your ribs? Good. And now pause and lengthen the leg that's standing. So now both legs are down. And now reach through the arm on this second side. Reach the arm up. And notice, does that affect what you do with your leg on that side? If you reach through the arm, and again, your arm is reaching, when I say up, it's your version of up. If your up is more to the side, 45 degrees, that's fine. It's so long as you're reaching away from your pelvis. Let's think of it that way. Does your leg reach? Do you want to reach with your leg when you reach with your arm? So now add them. Reach with your leg and your arm at the same time and feel that whole side lengthen. And now, how could you engage with your head moving in the opposite direction? So if you're reaching through your right arm and right foot, right hand, right foot, turn your head to the left. If you're reaching through your left arm and left foot, turn your head to the right. Can you time it so that all the reaching happens simultaneously? Through the foot, through the hand, and your head turning at exactly the same moment in time. And then you return. Excellent. Now, bring your arm down over top of your head, bring it down, take a rest. Actually, this is a pause, not a rest. I now invite you to bring both hands up the middle, over the top of your head. Separate your arms. Both legs are out. Both arms are up. And just wherever up is easy, not up to your place of discomfort. You will not get better if you keep running into your discomfort. And now reach once through the right foot and the right hand and turn your head to the left. Feel what that's like. And then reach, when you return from that, reach through the left foot, left hand, and look to the right. So basically, you're turning your head opposite to the side that you're lengthening. See if you can go from one side to the other alternately and discover which side is easier to lengthen. Which side is it easier to turn your head to? And please, when you lengthen, please do not lift your leg from the ground. Do not lift your arm from the ground. Lengthen, I hate to say it like this, but lengthen easily. I want to almost say lazily. Just keep it easy when you do it. Terrific. And now hands together overhead, bring them down the middle and rest. Rest on your side, rest any way you like. Just take a rest. However you're resting, observe your breath. Where does the breath expand your trunk? Is it your ribs? Is it your belly? Is it your back? Is it your sides? Where do you feel your breath when you inhale and when you exhale? And how is your relationship with the ground shifting? It's a shifting relationship, just like the shifting sands in the desert. Sometimes you'll feel places that press, and sometimes you'll feel places that are vacant. So now return to your back if you're not on your back. And I'm going to err on the side of the people. Oh, you have a question? Yep.
I had a question, Anastasi.
Go ahead.
So it's my left arm that's having issues.
Yes.
And when I was lying on my back and extending my arm and my foot away from each other,
yeah,
I had a little bit of, it wasn't a spasm, like a big painful spasm, but a little bit of a spasm in the right side of the middle of my back, like that. Those muscles kind of went like that. I mean, I breathed into it and made it smaller and it went away, but I just thought I would mention it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So what Anina just described, oh, sorry, I wasn't going to say names, but okay. What was just described is expected. I imagine that will happen for some of you, especially if your back is a little tight, because on the side you're turning your face to that's not lengthening, that side's contracting, and you will feel the muscles coming together on that side, and it might become a little bit of a cramp. If that happens, bend your knees, hold on to your knees, and just roll gently right and left, just to lengthen out those tissues. But yes, thank you for mentioning that. That is something that I might imagine will happen, especially if you've been sitting in chairs a lot as opposed to walking around. So now, please, we're all going to roll onto our, let's see, I'd like you to all roll onto your left side. To do that, stand your right leg, left leg long, and roll to your left side. You can bend, actually, if you can lengthen your left arm up and rest your head on it, that's fine. If you need to bend it, that's fine as well. Whichever way you are comfortable to rest your head. If you're comfortable with your head on the floor, you could do that too. But you're on your side. And now in this position, just notice that your legs are, a little bit, they're bent. And I'm going to invite you to allow your left leg, because you're on your left side, to be a little bit in front of your right leg. Your right leg's going to be behind. So the two legs are bent, and you can make yourself comfortable in that place. Okay. Yep. You'll rest and if you can't rest your head on your arm, you rest it on the floor, or you grab your towel, whatever you need, but your legs are displaced. Your bottom leg, your left leg, is in front of your right leg, which is behind. Okay. And now notice that you've got a free right hand. Your right elbow and right hand are somewhere there on the floor. Okay, so you can use it like a push-up position if you need it. But right now, just begin to lengthen through your right leg. Gently. Lengthen your right leg down and then bring it back. Of course, go slowly to find out, where does the leg go? When I say down, it could be down and back a little bit. It could be wherever it goes, but reach through your heel. As you reach it down, and feel, when do you feel that up into your pelvis and beyond, up into your arms? Okay, bend that leg, let it rest. If it's uncomfortable to have your right leg behind you, you can put them together for the next variation. So now please take your right hand and put it behind your head. That's it. Put your right hand behind your head, and now start to move so that you're actually, just find a place where your right hand can rest. Just have it there, okay? But notice where your elbow is. Your elbow is sticking out to the side. For most of us, it doesn't have to be in front. Actually, find out, where can you put your hand behind your head? Move your hand around. What can you touch behind your head? Can you feel your neck? Can you feel your shoulders? Just see where you can put your hand right now. And then find a place. It's like the Goldilocks place. Not too far, not too close, not too left, not too right, not too up, not too down. Find the right spot. And then leave your hand there. And then slowly, once again, lengthen your right leg. And feel what happens to your right elbow when you lengthen your right leg. Remember, it's your heel that's pushing away. That's it. And bring it back and reach again. Please don't hold your breath. Find a place where you can lengthen that leg downward and feel, what effect does it have on your right elbow? Where does your right elbow go when your leg goes downward? Good. Excellent. And now bring your leg back. And now explore. See if your hand finds a different place. And you know what? You can go onto your back and onto your side many times. You can do it as often as you like. But explore again and see, where does my hand go now? Did it change at all? All right. Take a brief rest on your back or on your side, doesn't matter. And I will tell you that in my doing the lesson, when I was reaching through those legs, I had to discover the right pathway for my foot to move through space so that I wouldn't get discomfort on the big hip bone that sticks into the ground. It's a big bump on your thigh bone, actually. And it can be a little uncomfortable just in certain positions. So I want you to be mindful of your greater trochanter. That's the anatomical term. So you can always, if you feel, oh, that's uncomfortable, I'm about to get to an uncomfortable position on that bone, then just keep shifting to get more comfortable as you do the lengthening. So now we're going to do the same movement in the same position, but it's not the same, because now we're going to use the lower leg, the left leg. So once again, roll onto your left side. Roll onto your left side. Bring your right hand behind your head. And find that nice spot where your hand finds comfort. And now begin to lengthen the heel of your left leg, the one that's against the ground. And remember, if it needs to go a different direction to protect your hip, you do that. You have to find out. This is trial and error, and we discover the pathway that feels good. So your heel reaches down away from you. It's just your left leg going down. And if it's going down too far in front and you're not connecting the reaching down, your right leg is still behind you, I'm afraid. Some of you have put your right leg, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Just do it 3 more times with the left leg. Reach down with the left leg. What happens in your back? What happens in your neck? What happens to your to your right elbow? When you reach down with your leg, can you let your elbow go up? As you reach down with your leg, can you find a connection to lengthen your elbow up? Your right leg might be lifting off the ground in order to let your left leg lengthen. Connect that to your right elbow, your left foot to your right elbow. Okay, I see people conking out, so roll onto your back and rest. This is a very internal experience. You will need to rest when you need to rest. And I will track you rather than me here. And just notice how your back now meets the floor differently. Do you feel a difference on your left side compared to your right side? How was it different when your right leg was going back and down or down, whichever direction felt good, compared to the left leg, the underneath leg, the leg that was against the floor? So when we return to our left side for the last time, well, not for the last time in the lesson, but for the last time in this variation, we're going to alternately reach once with the right leg, feel the effect on the right elbow, and then reach with the left leg, feel the effect on the right elbow, and alternate. Do at least 2 of each. So please return to your left side, right hand behind your head. And it's not just an exercise for the sake of doing the left leg, the right leg in the reaching. It's how does each of those feet connect to your elbow? Your right hand is behind your head and you're exploring. When you reach with one foot, how does that connect to your elbow? When you reach with the other foot, how does that connect to your elbow? Which one lets your elbow go more easily upward? You know, I think I'm going to add a variation. Keep going, just do one leg and the other a couple more times. And I'm going to add something just to help you find a better neutral to start with. Okay, good. This is good. I see heads turning, elbows lifting. Yeah. All right, so take your hand out from behind your head, put it in a push-up position, bend your legs generously toward your abdomen, pull them in, draw them up, and now offset them. The right leg goes backward, the left leg goes forward, and reach them down and split them open. Reach down, and then pull them back in. Feel that movement go into your back and look up when you do it. Reach down with your feet and look up with your eyes. Up in the direction of your eyebrows, in the direction of your hairline. That's the connection. Good. Now, come back. Now put your right hand behind your head and do the same thing with your legs. Push both legs straight down and feel your back extend and lift and look up with your chin. Look up with your eyes. Let your jaw go forward. Stick your tongue out if you wish. As your legs go long, not when your legs are bending. Okay, so my friend in Europe, when your legs go long, look up, look up. When your legs go long, when they go away from you, look up. Reach your feet down and look up. That's it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, you're good. Come and rest on your back. I got excited because I could see the connection through your chest into your neck and into your head. Wow. Feel your contact with the floor. Can you feel that you've been doing the side lying work on one side, lying on your left side? The truth is, for each of you in the class, there are 12 of us here. Each person has their own feeling right now. It may not be that you are like anyone else in what you feel. Just roll your head a little right and left. Feel the movement of breath. Feel the sense of your shoulder blades and the length of the right side compared to the left side. And then when you're ready, please stand your left foot. And you don't have to get there in one move, but just feel you're going to roll your pelvis now to the right. Your right arm is going to come up so that you can rest your head on it. And you put your left hand right away, put your left hand on the back of your head. And offset your legs so that I know you want to do it with, it's probably easier to have the left leg in front of the right, but we're actually going to have the right leg in front of the left. So your top leg is behind you a little bit. That's it. So to begin with, just explore with your left hand behind your head. Just see, where does your head go? With your left hand behind your head, you're laying on your right side if you can, and you're just exploring where you can go with your left hand. And where is your elbow? Your elbow is pointing out to the side. And then find that sweet spot where you could let your hand just rest with your elbow out to the side. And now begin to pay attention to now you keep your elbow out to the side. Yeah, that's it. It's important because, look, if you push your head into your hand, push your head backward and look up, and you'll see that it opens. Don't roll your head, look up, not rolling to the left, but looking up. How do you look up? Look up into your eyebrows, into your hairline. That's up. Okay, good. Now lengthen your left foot, your left heel forward and down, and see if you can connect that to your elbow going up. As you reach the leg down, can the elbow go up? Reach the foot, the heel. The heel pushes downward. It's like you're stepping on, that's it. And lengthen through yourself to your elbow and then release. How are you breathing when you lengthen? Do you hold your breath? Do you breathe out? Do you breathe in? Good. Rest as you need. Rest as you need. You can take little sips of this lesson and it'll still work. If you didn't want your legs offset, you could also do it with your legs one on top of the other. It's just the offset helps to feel the difference. And now when you're ready, do the movement with your left leg lengthening. Oh, sorry, your right leg lengthening. You were doing the left leg. Sorry about that. So now it's the underneath leg connecting with lengthening. And again, lengthen the leg to see if you can connect to your chest, your breastbone, your elbow going up and back, your face looking up, your jaw letting go. Is this leg better for lengthening and opening your chest and lengthening your arm? Or was the other leg better? Do 2 of each. 2 of the left leg, 2 of the right leg, and feel the differences. Well, someone's trying a variation that we will be coming to, but maybe not today. But anyway, good. Now put your left hand in a push-up position and just play with not just reaching through your heels, but also take your left leg forward and your right leg backward. Your left leg is in front of your right leg. Your left leg is in front of your right leg. So you just reach through your heels, but use your hands. Push, reach. Okay. And now take your, oh, you know what? I've got this wrong. I'm watching someone that's got it. Okay. So switch, put the left leg behind the right leg. That should have been the pattern. The left leg is behind the right leg. Now separate your legs and do the splits. Not literally. Somebody I know can do them. Just bend your knees generously. Bend your knees generously when you come back, and then separate your legs and feel that go up your back. That's it. And now do it, same thing, with your left hand behind your head. And take your elbow up as your feet go down. And let your head turn to the ceiling a little bit. Feel that connection, splitting the legs, reaching. Lovely. Okay, please leave it and rest on your back. And notice how your back meets the floor now. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder. How do they contact the floor? How does your lower back feel? Is it further from the floor or closer to the floor? And if you had an area in your back that was uncomfortable, of course you can bend your knees now. If you need to hold your knees, you could even do that. But just let yourself sense, how is it different after doing that? You know, when we sit a lot or we've been upright for a while, our back muscles work a lot. And some of these actions are firing particular patterns of those back muscles, and they may get, or they may protest if it's too much work for them. So that's why I'm suggesting if you need to recuperate from the engagement of your back, then just bending your knees, standing your feet, that would be stage one. Stage two would be holding onto your knees and rolling a little up, down, or a little left, right. It's not to stretch, it's just to lengthen something that's been working. Okay, leave it and rest. And sense your breath. And when you're ready, please bend your knees and just feel how your back touches the floor with your feet standing. And we're going to return to the left side. So again, you can rest your head on your left arm. We're just going to add one little variation for you. And now put your, let's have the right leg behind and the left leg in front. And now take your your right hand and drape it over your hips. Put it over your right hip. That's it. And now let your hand actually come behind your pelvis and into your back. And it will be the back of your hand. That's it. See if you can reach. If you lift your right knee, if you don't touch the floor, if you lift your right knee a little bit, you'll be able to roll your chest a little backward and you can let your hand come closer to the floor. But just find out if you touch the floor or don't touch the floor. It's not important. But see if you can begin to slide your hand up and down your back. And if your hand is on the floor, then slide it up and down along the floor. But go gently. It's not about rolling onto your back. You're still on your side. Actually, I was letting you cheat by letting you lift your knee. So don't lift your knee. If you need to, you can put your legs together if you need to. But just let your hand find the right spot. Again, find a spot where you could leave your hand behind you, just resting. Okay, now rest it there. And now begin to lengthen the top leg, which is your right leg. Reach down through your right leg. Reach it down and lift your chest as you do it. And breathe into your chest as you lift your chest, reaching through the right leg. Bring the leg back, soften your chest, breathe out. And then as you reach down, so it's the right leg that's behind you. My friend in Europe, right leg is behind you. Good. As you reach down and you get to a position that you feel comfortable to have the leg long, stay there a moment. And now on purpose, pull in your abdomen, lift and expand your chest as you breathe in and look up as you do it, and push your jaw forward. The leg is long. The top leg is long. You look up and then let it go. Come back. Now do the same thing, but lengthen instead your left leg. Can you do that? Left leg lengthens. It's going to go a little bit forward, I know, rather than back. But again, lift your chest and breathe in, pull in your abdomen, expand your chest as you breathe in, and then let it go and come back. And then alternate. Once do the right leg, once do the left leg, and then do them together. Each time you do it, look up, push your lower jaw forward a little bit, breathe in by pulling your belly in, expand your chest, and play with one, then the other, and then both legs. And then please leave it. Put your hand, actually, before you get to your back, put your hand back on the back of your head, bring it out and bring it up onto the back of your head and see if you can reach down further. See if you explore different parts of your shoulders now with your arm overhead. Feel the movement of your shoulder blade. Can you roll onto your back with your arm above your head? Just take your right leg back and you'll roll. And then take your hand out and then rest. Yeah, somebody asked me how much space would we need for this lesson? In a way, you could be very narrow and confine the movements, or you could be expansive. Either way. But feel the difference between your left side and your right side now. Is the right side jealous? Do you want to get over on the right side and do these things? Well, I hope so. So can you get to your right side by just turning your pelvis to the right? If you have to stand your left leg, stand your left leg, but you could even roll. And then your left leg is behind your right leg. And now bring your left hand, drape it over your pelvis, and then see if you can let your left hand go behind you, behind your pelvis. And it doesn't matter if you touch the floor, but see if you bend your elbow gently. You can move your hand a little up, a little down, a little right, a little left. Just see where you can put your hand. It's the back of your hand, of course, not the palm. Beautiful. Find a sweet spot you can let your hand be resting in. And if it's just over your hip, that's just fine right there. Because the next movement isn't so much about your arm, it's in a place. But now think about lengthening your left leg, the top leg. Reach it down away from you. And as you do that, lift your chest. It's as if your chest can look up in the direction your eyes look up. Your jaw is open. And then you bring your leg back in and you bring your head back in. That's it. Do it again. Breathing, lengthening, top leg, connecting to your back. If it rolls you back, that's fine. Next time you bend the leg, you do the front leg, the right leg that you're resting on. Lengthen that and see if that connects better for you. It can go a little forward because it's a little in front of the back leg. So it's just your heel is the agent. Your heel is the thing that's pushing the world away. And you're connecting that into your chest and you're lifting your breastbone and your gaze is going upward as your foot is going downward. And then you do both legs. You reach through both legs, lengthening down, lifting your chest, looking up. And then when you return, bring your left hand down, slide it over your hip, and then bring it behind your head. And see if you can lengthen both legs and feel your elbow pushing into the back of your head as your head looks up. And now you lengthen your elbow up. Your left elbow goes up as your 2 feet go down away from your, that's it. And you feel your back engage and open. Terrific. Please roll onto your back. Rest a moment. And then bring your feet to standing. Bring your fingertips to your abdomen, to your belly, slide them up over your head, lay them out on the floor, wherever you can easily. Find out where you can be. May not be any better yet, but just notice where you can be. And now lengthen your legs. Might make it easier for your arms with your legs long or not. And now reach through the left foot and left hand and turn your head to the right as you do it. Feel the lengthening on the left side. Left hand, left foot, look to the right. Come back and then lengthen the right hand and right foot and look to the left. And see if you can alternate from one side to the other. Lengthen through your hand and through your heel, turning your head to the opposite side. Gently, easily, side to side, wherever you can be. Good. And then bring your hands down through the midline. Let yourself take stock of your contact with the floor, your distance of your ears to the floor, your ears to each shoulder. And do you feel longer in some way or compressed in some way? Lift one leg and the other, feel the difference. Roll your head as you wish. What did this lesson do for you? Maybe it'll be revealed when you come to standing and you reach with your right hand and then with your left hand, or with your left hand and then with your right hand. So when you're ready, please bend your knee. If you need time on the floor, you stay on the floor. You bend your knees, you bring your knees up over your chest. Do whatever you need to ensure that you're transitioning in a nice way from your back to sitting to standing. And there is no rush. I will invite you to do your explorations, or you don't need to do the explorations. You could just walk around if you like. But with that, I wish you a good afternoon. And if you have questions or observations, I'm here for you. Thank you.